Do that.
Ah, okay.
Wait, what?
So we've hit our lowest numbers the last 2 weeks.
No, don't.
And I blame goddamn Comic-Con. Because now that people have already listened to those episodes and we don't have to worry about promoting those episodes anymore, Comic-Con this year was ass.
It was.
It was trash.
Uh-huh.
It was uninteresting. It was bullshit. I'm apologizing formally for trying to make it interesting just so we could cover it on our goddamn podcast.
I'm not apologizing. I watched like 66 hours of that shit.
And I skimmed most of that.
You didn't watch half
for the people. It's not my fault. I couldn't get into it. I tried.
I did my due diligence. I watched so much fucking Comic-Con. And like, I'm not blaming anybody because I didn't like it either. It was just like one of those like, man, I like slaved over a hot stove kind of moments, you know?
Oh, it's like when your mom made that stir fry for us that one time and she was very proud of it and she put it on the table and there was a goddamn Band-Aid in it. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
The Band-Aid stir fry?
Yeah.
Comic-Con this year was a goddamn stay-at-home Band-Aid stir fry.
Yeah. That hit a little too close to home.
I'm ashamed of it. I hate it. And I kind of want to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's possible.
Hello and welcome to the Firebear Republic. I'm Dustin.
And I'm Jamie.
Oh my god.
Try to interrupt me with the intro and you can't even do it.
So we got fucking supernatural news.
Yeah. A little bit of an update.
Yeah.
So allegedly, it's still coming out in the fall. Allegedly. But due to COVID and the way their film schedule normally works, we may end up with like 13 more episodes.
That's kind of a happy little surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be good or bad though.
Like they're kind of Harry Pottering this bitch. We think we got like one movie left, like one season or something, and they're like, you know what? Two. Like a season 1 and then a season like 0.1.5.
Yeah, it's like season 15 or 16 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll mean like season 16 has like 20, what would that be, like 34 episodes or some shit? Or
yeah, because they normally have like 22, 24.
Yeah, between 22 and 24.
Unnaturally long.
Yeah.
Almost supernatural.
Right, but it's because they put bullshit filler in.
Damn.
Like, that could suck, right? That wouldn't be good. I mean, their fillers are usually entertaining, but when you're ready for that wrap-up, because right now, like, all the worlds are ending, and the supernatural multiverse is ending.
And God is pissed. And
God is a piece of shit, and he's pissed.
Yeah.
And, like, fucking Hillary Clinton is president in their universe.
The fuck, really?
Yeah. They said it on the radio in the background of one of the episodes.
Huh.
They were like, President Clinton, Hillary Clinton.
Oh, shit. I missed that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different things in their universe. I feel like it's drastically better than ours right now.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have like Leviathans and shit.
Yeah, the devil you know. I'm just saying. The devil you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty cool for Supernatural, though.
I'm excited that they're going to make more episodes. They've also, like, canceled some shit already because CW can't figure out how to do shit. So they bought all these game shows from England and they premiered them. And the first night, they're like, oh, nobody wanted to watch that shit. So the next week, they just put Supernatural on.
Huh.
So they're, like, re-showing this season. Like, this season without going into syndication or whatever. And then they're going to let it run right into itself in the fall, I guess.
Yeah.
In that time slot.
Do you think that, I mean, we've been kind of like talking about this with Star Wars and stuff. But with COVID and everything, do you think that this season taking longer to come out and obviously us getting more episodes?
Yeah.
Do you think that we could get a more quality ending for Supernatural?
Possibly, because usually their film cycle has their season start before they're done filming the season. And then they're filming during their season, their mid-season break and all that shit. And this time, they're pretty much done. They were in visual effects and shit when they had to shut down production.
Damn.
So they were delayed because their visual effects studio like didn't want to work from home or whatever. You know, I mean, it's big computers and shit. It's probably hard to do that from home.
Video editing at home, yeah. Especially on that caliber
Yeah,
would
you're
be
not going to
hard.
do it on your laptop or like
Yeah.
whatever. I think it's also interesting that Supernatural is going to end without any spin-offs already announced.
Whatever happened to the one about the lady cop and
So
stuff?
the Wayward Sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't test well, I guess.
That's a bummer because I
Nobody
really
fucking wanted to watch it.
I liked that character. I can't think of what her name is at the moment because,
Yeah.
you know, Supernatural has been on for like 15 fucking years.
Yeah.
But
It was basically going to be like her and then the two little girls that they had kind of mentored at some point.
yeah, like one of them, I think it was like the blonde was caught up in some like vampire nest or something. And
Yeah.
they saved her from it. I can't remember.
The other one's from like another dimension or some shit.
Yeah, I can't even remember it. Yeah.
That was from that like weird season with goddamn whatever the kid of the devil was.
Oh,
Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is weird that they're going to end something that's been like one of their most successful franchises with no like sequel.
You know that those guys just have to be so like over it.
They're going to put Sam on Walker, Texas Ranger.
It seems just as bad though.
It's a spinoff of a Chuck Norris IP.
Well, you know, that kind of actually makes more sense though, because like Sam joining that show, like obviously he wants to keep going with acting and stuff.
Right.
But I know the guy that plays Dean
Mhm.
has like his own like wine vineyard or something, and
Yeah.
like apparently he's trying to do shit like outside of television. So maybe he's just fucking had it, you know?
I mean, can you imagine doing the same show for that long? For that many
No.
episodes? Like, that's a
Uh.
lot of fucking episodes.
Yeah.
You're like approaching soap opera level, like.
And like they don't get breaks either. It's not like
Yeah.
one of them has like fucking amnesia and then it's off the show for 3 seasons, you know?
Right.
It's like
Can you imagine what that syndication money is going to look like? 'Cause
Oh
they're
my
going to run that
God.
show for eternity.
yeah. Oh my
And it's
God.
CW, so they're going to license it out to every goddamn body as soon as it ends.
Mm-hmm.
That's syndication money, man.
It's gonna be like the new A-Team or like the new
Yeah.
like Friends or something. Well, maybe not Friends level, but
Dude, so speaking of the new A-Team,
yeah.
The Boys' final trailer.
Oh, dude, it looks so fucking
Oh,
good.
yes, it looks so good. It looks so goddamn violent.
Yeah. Oh my God. When Homelander just like saws that person in half with the
Laser
I-beams.
eyes?
Yeah.
That's how I always envisioned Superman. That's why Superman sucks, because he doesn't use his abilities.
Yeah.
Like, Superman never does that shit. He could.
No.
The whole time he could.
Because he's a good guy.
And then Stormfront looks badass as shit and is probably the big evil of this season.
Aren't they all kind of evil?
That's like the most morally gray group of individuals of all time.
Yeah.
They're all just like fucked up. But they're
Like even the good guys.
yeah, but everyone kind of has their own like little like moral nugget somewhere. Like even goddamn Homelander has like some little moral nugget where he'll do something.
Stares in confusion.
You know how he'll do something like when he took when he realized that Billy Butcher was after him because he thought he killed his wife and kid. He like tried to give him closure at the end of the season. Instead of just incinerating him, which would be way easier, he like brought him and he's like, "Hey, your wife's alive. She had my kid. Fuck you."
I don't feel
But I
like
see how they all fucked you over, so I'm going to show you this.
I don't feel like that was in any way like him like doing something nice. I thought
feel
he was
like that was a fucked up like bro moment on his part. Like this organization that's been fucking with me that I've just eviscerated was the organization that fucked with you. Your girl just liked me better, see? Like in his like own narcissistic like child mentality, I almost feel like that was him being noble. Because if he was truly just like evil as shit, he would have eliminated the problem. He would have just been like, "All right, Billy Butcher, fuck you, boy." You know? Eviscerated.
I felt like he was about to do that. And then right before he did, he was like, "Oh, that's why he doesn't like me. I'm going to like double down on this shit and show him that I fucked his wife and had a kid with his wife too before this happens."
Damn. I guess we'll find out in the
Yeah,
first
like-
5 minutes of this season.
That's why I've been so confused because Billy's like still alive. Like I thought he was going to fucking murder him.
So you
like,
thought he was going to just show him like his own wife and not his kid and then just mow him down on the lawn.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. See, she had my kid. Little motherfucker respects me and
Glowing
shit.
eyes.
Yeah.
Do you have glowing eyes, Billy? I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Fuck your soul.
See how she's not coming over to help you up
Yeah.
and stuff? That's because she likes me.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I think that show is going to be amazing this season. I cannot wait until September 4th.
Yeah. Especially now that we don't have to deal with, like, I've gotten to the point where I've, like, really started to hate the origin story.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we'll get into that a little bit more with Umbrella Academy and stuff.
Yeah.
But having a whole season where we don't have to explain who people are and what their, like, moral convictions or lack thereof are.
Right.
Like, is going to make this show so much more exciting.
It really is. Because I'm also right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm super tired of every character's origin story having to be a film or 7 episodes of a goddamn first season or whatever.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
It really is. Speaking of which, Judge fucking Dredd might be getting the television show. Let's preface this, right?
Yeah, it is a might.
It is a might, maybe. Okay, so the article states that the creator of the most recent 2016 version of the film,
Yeah, Jason Kingsley.
he owns the rights to Judge Dredd.
Yeah, well, his company, Rebellion Entertainment, does.
Okay.
I think they did that for, I want to say Universal. I don't know if that's true. But whoever they did the last movie for, somehow he came out owning the rights to Dredd.
Right. And his ambition at the moment is to make a fucking television show. And
Yeah.
possibly have Keith Urban.
He could be reprising his role or he could be doing a cameo.
Yeah.
He's not attached and he's in The Boys.
Right.
So,
He also said in the same article that he wanted to have Stallone guest star.
right.
So anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, the movie was pretty conclusive though. So what do? Is it just another story? Because the comics were kind of like that, right? Like most of the time it would be about Judge Dredd, but there were other people that worked at his precinct and there's other things going on.
Yeah, like I can't say that I'm like really big into Judge Dredd comics. Like I'm more like the movie,
Yeah.
kind of universe stuff. But there were definitely other judges. It wasn't always just about Judge Dredd
For sure.
and stuff. And it didn't, it doesn't like focus on Judge Dredd's like moral convictions or like his origin story. It's almost kind of like an episode of fucking Law and Order, but everything's, all the law and order happens on the street, So just like the fucking movie, like the 2016 version, it's just kind of like a day in the life of like a super cop,
Right.
With
super authority.
Right. Stallone's version, I just watched both of them recently,
Mhm.
but Stallone's was much more of an action film. It was
Right.
like I'm a superhero and I get wronged and now I have to fight the bad guy who also happens to be my brother,
Yeah. Stallone's version was not very good.
It's good for like an action movie, but it's not a good Dredd movie,
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember not liking that movie when I saw it as a kid. I don't remember why, because I should. I love Demolition Man.
It had the male gigolo guy. What the fuck is his name?
Rob Schneider?
It had fucking Rob Schneider in it. Did you
Yeah.
remember that?
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
It's funny.
Yeah. So like, I'm super stoked about the Judge Dredd TV show, possibly.
Yeah.
How do you think that flies today?
Ooh.
Right?
See, it doesn't have a network yet, which is why it's also not in production yet.
Right.
I think this is one he needs to wait just a little bit because of our social climate.
You think so?
I do not think Judge Dredd will fly well in these trying times.
I was wondering about that, like, because on one hand, right, he is kind of like a super cop, but like,
Mhm.
it's a fictional world,
Right.
I mean, I guess people don't really draw the line between the two, do they?
No.
See, that's why I love fiction, man.
I think it hurt that movie in 2016.
Did it?
Yeah.
Fuck. Because, I mean, I love fiction, man.
Yeah.
I love like a world where like all the fictional rules are kind of like laid out for you. It's like Judge Dredd has to exist because this is what we're up against.
Yeah. Or
You
this
know?
this event happened and that set everything in motion, and now this is what we have, and these are the confines that everyone operates in.
Right. But like in a real world setting, for example, like Frank Castle
Yeah.
sounds like he would be like a fucking monster,
He would.
you know? Like a vigilante just like killing people
Mowing
indiscriminately.
down all the
Possible.
bad guys?
Yeah, that's scary as shit.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want that guy to exist.
No, because he's indiscriminately shooting bullets everywhere.
Yeah. But like in a comic book, that's awesome.
Right.
You know?
But it needs to stay in the comic book.
Yeah.
It's a weird time for this, you know?
Yeah.
I think it'll happen. I think someone will pick it up and it'll be cool. But I think it's going to be a minute.
Fuck.
You know? I don't think if I was in charge of a studio right now, I would pick up Dredd.
Yeah. Just the way that most recent movie works is just fucking amazing though. And it would work so well in a television series.
Right.
Because if you think about it, right? The whole movie isn't even about Dredd. It's about Anderson. It's her first day
Yeah.
on the job.
It's basically training day.
And it's fucking Tuesday for Dredd.
Right.
You know? And he's taking on a fucking mega city building. I looked it up. They said it was about like 80,000 people
Yeah.
within this building. Like that's a third of the population of Norfolk.
Right.
Like holy shit. They
And-
took on like a whole city by itself.
Yeah. And he's just like, fuck you.
Yeah. Doesn't give a shit.
And in that world, you kind of need that guy.
Yeah. And if it was a television series, we could have like episodes like that. Like one day it's like a training day.
Yeah.
Next episode's about another judge. Comes back to Judge Dredd. You know? A whole nother situation comes up.
And you could have a cool world building, overarching plot that ties it all together.
Yeah, but like, even if it was just episodical, you know?
Ooh. I don't know if I would like that.
You don't think so?
Not in a series. I mean, I think I would like that in a series if it came out on a streaming platform and I could
Yeah.
binge it. But if it was on like HBO or something and it was week to week where it might have a good budget and might actually work visually, you know? I don't know if I would like it like that.
Huh.
And I don't know if it would do well. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
That's definitely something to put in like the back of your head and kind of roll around and think like, okay, who's going to do Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
Could be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of fucking awesome, Umbrella Academy Season 2.
Dude, that was so hard to like quit watching.
So no real spoilers because we haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
I'm like most of the way through it. I think we're about the same place.
Around like episode 5. I
Yeah,
think.
somewhere in there. I
Yeah.
think there's 8 episodes. Is there 8 or 10 episodes?
I think there's 10.
If there's 10, I'm on episode 6.
Okay.
I have 4 left. I'm really digging it.
Me too.
Really digging the pacing.
Yeah.
Really digging the way they've expanded the characters and given all the characters like I think I haven't listened back to it, but when we reviewed the first season, my biggest critique, I believe even on the episode, was that none of the characters felt fleshed out. All the characters felt like generic archetype characters
Mm-hmm.
that were just thrown in like based on their powers. Like their power, it also is their personality.
Like the characters were stand-ins for the X-Men characters that they were supposed to be.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
You know? And everything they did was kind of based around their power.
Yeah.
Their powers are like an accessory. And they feel like actual living characters in this story.
Right.
And I dig the shit out of it.
Because they finally got over the fucking origin story season and we get a
Yes.
season about characters. It's so good.
Where you don't have to explain where everyone fucking
Yeah.
came from.
And to add to your point about the pacing, I thought it was magical because you had already sent me a text and you were like, pacing is great.
Yeah.
I turned it on and it was like within the first like 5-10 minutes of the first episode, they had laid out the entire premise for the second season.
Yeah.
They did it magically.
They
It was
They did it in a non-bullshit way
yeah.
without wasting 2 or 3 episodes to set it up.
Yeah, it's like number 5 brings everybody back to the past. It screws up. You see each one of them kind of get like,
Dumped at a different year.
yeah. And then him experiencing what bad thing is going to happen if they don't fix the timeline. And then instantly gets sent back to fix it. And you're like, there you go. Setup done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It was like less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're in the season. You don't have to tell any bullshit origin stories. Except they have, in a side way, been telling their monkey butler's origin story.
And not making a big deal out of it.
Yeah, he's just in the background getting his story told.
Yeah.
Because they didn't explain him in the first season. And so you're kind of getting that. And you're like, oh, fucking sweet.
And the nanny.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Kind of.
Their mother, I guess. The robot
real life
mom?
version.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
It is. I mean, if nothing comes of it, it's still a nice little thing.
Yeah. Have you noticed, I don't know how much you like that kind of era of music and stuff, but like the soundtrack has been so cool, but it also progresses through the decades as the season goes on. Have you noticed that? It starts in the 60s, goes to 70s, and goes to 80s, and then like starts getting towards the 90s and shit as the season goes on.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't notice that. I've really, really enjoyed like the aesthetics of this season too. Like the way they nail everybody's dress, the way they nail like the things that are going on in the background, like politically with JFK and all that stuff. And it's like always on the TV in the background or always on the newspaper laying on a desk. And it's just like super immersive.
Yeah. And the characters are awesome this time around. Like I'm not gonna get into any spoiler territory, but like there's a character named Ray.
Yeah.
He's one of the most flushed out characters like in the season. Like
he's great.
Yeah. Awesome character.
He's super good. The crazy woman for the asylum is freaking awesome.
Yeah. And she's a cool addition. Yeah.
Super cool addition. Super important character without spoiling the shit.
Yeah.
Damn, like everyone's cool. They have Jack Ruby is literally Spaceboy's boss at the beginning. The guy who assassinated Lee Harvey Oswald.
That was kind of a crazy addition too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for them to make a joke about him getting cancer. Because like allegedly he died of cancer in prison like a couple years after he was convicted.
Huh.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I didn't remember that.
If you got your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, that's like all part of the conspiracy.
Oh yeah. I mean, overall, I'm really enjoying it. I think we're gonna finish it and then kind of wrap it and actually do some spoiler shit for it next week.
Yeah. Do you want to have like a review or something next week?
Yeah, like maybe a review. But if you're watching it also, you should like interact with us about it because it's pretty fun.
Catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, catch
interact
up
with
and
us.
Be ready.
Yeah.
Finish it.
We'll have kind of like our like book club meeting thing next week.
We'll have a little stream club.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do a stream club.
That would be pretty awesome.
That'd be kind of fun.
Like that.
Have like a round table discussion at the end when everyone finished their assigned streaming. Could be fun. So speaking of streaming, since every transition is going to be so speaking of today, Mulan. After Disney promised they were going to support the theaters. The theater.
I think everybody's at a breaking point.
They said, like, fuck it. It's coming out. Same day as The Boys.
You know, in a way, I feel like it's kind of admirable that Disney had said that they were going to hold out.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, man, I think we're getting to that point where we just have to like, Disney just kind of has to put shit out again.
But we're not
going to. They need to make money.
We're not going to have any more theater experiences.
I want to. I really do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite theater experience? Of all time?
What do you mean?
What do you like about the theater? What's a memorable experience for you at the theater?
Like a specific movie that I went to?
Yeah, or like something that happened at the theater. So I was thinking about it the other day, right? So I don't remember if it was you and me, or me and somebody else, or whatever. But I was seeing Jackie Chan's Around the World in 80 Days. In 2004. And we're sitting in the theater, and it's like kind of a quiet part in that movie, and then people are having a little talk and stuff. And next door is The Passion of the Christ through the wall.
Yeah.
And like we're trying to watch our funny Jackie Chan movie, and you can just hear him beating the shit out of Jesus next door.
Shit.
And him like screaming in Arabic and stuff. And a bunch of us just got cracked up in around the world in 80 days because it was so awkward. Like through the wall.
Yeah.
It was just different. Like it was just not something you expected to be listening to in the theater through the wall. And forever I'll remember that. And there's so many other times I was at the theater. I'm just like, stupid shit happened.
I do. I
miss the humanity of it.
I do remember getting shit for getting nachos while watching Passion of the Christ.
Oh, fuck. How are you going to eat nachos and watch somebody get tortured to death for 2 hours?
Because it's a fucking movie theater. Like, I have always gotten snacks at the movie theater. I don't understand the moral dilemma here.
I've seen that movie. That's a hard movie.
It is, but I needed my snacks.
I couldn't eat snacks and watch goddamn Saw or some shit like that.
See, that doesn't bother me, though.
You can just sit there and eat snacks and people are sawing their own arm off with a goddamn hacksaw?
Yeah, completely disassociated.
And you're just like, oh, these nachos are fucking delicious.
Yeah, horror movies don't do that to me. I don't get scared watching. Yeah, exactly. And people are like, you obviously getting looks and shit. And it's like, okay, if this was supposed to be like a moment that we were all supposed to be in reverence, right? It wouldn't be at the fucking movie theater, right? He would have sent, like, Mel Gibson himself would have sent it to churches, right? Like, otherwise, this is an entertainment experience.
He was trying to make money.
And I get my snacks.
Yeah. If he had sent it to churches, he probably could have avoided paying taxes on it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, goddamn, Mulan, right?
Okay.
So Disney has now pulled out of their commitment to the theaters.
Yeah.
And I feel like the theaters are doomed. Mulan is going to come out for $29.99, which is steep. It stays in your Disney Plus account.
Now, okay, so this is the part that's sketchy to me because we kind of talked about it a little bit before we started recording. You're under the impression that you lose the movie if you end your subscription, right?
Right. I don't think you have access to Disney Plus
outside of having a subscription. So, like, why would you buy it from them though? I don't get that.
I think it's better than renting it because all of those other movies, right, that you've been able to rent, like Universal just said, fuck the theater right off, like day one. They were like, theater can eat my dick. And then we had all of their movies come out for what, $20? $24, something like that.
Which I still thought was too expensive.
It's too expensive, but it's 2 movie tickets, and you assume you're going to watch it with someone else. It's kind of the same. They don't have the overhead of the theater, so it is kind of greedy.
But it's kind of profiling, right?
And you only get it for 2 hours.
What if I'm just like, I am, right now, single dude who wants a single movie ticket.
Yeah.
Right? Why can't I spend my fucking $10 and get my movie? When, like, they're just assuming, they're like, oh, what? So you don't have anybody to watch this with? What?
It's probably to balance out that I have a 120-inch projector screen in my garage and may have 5 people over and sit socially responsibly apart and watch the movie on the projector screen.
I don't want socialism and being a part of my fucking movie-going experience. What, like somebody didn't buy popcorn, so I got to buy enough popcorn for them too?
Well, that's why popcorn costs so much at the fucking theater.
It's part of the experience.
To make up for those little fuckers that bring baked beans in there in a can.
No, that's just part of it's like, hey, give us money. We're the movie theater. It's an experience.
Yeah, but now the movie theater isn't going to get shit.
Yeah.
Because Mulan is $30. And
I'm not paying those movie theater prices for shit that I'm watching at home.
Yeah, see, it's weird though. It's a weird model. And also, like, this isn't going to be the first time or the last time it happens.
Probably not.
Because think about this, right? And I was thinking about this, trying to figure out how they were going to do it in Disney Plus. They had to develop an entire backend of their streaming service to be able to sell these movies on demand and keep track of whose accounts are able to watch what.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do that for one movie. Like, this may be how we end up watching Black Widow in November.
I keep on hearing that now that Mulan did it, that Black Widow's like pretty much a given at this point.
Probably, like all these big Disney movies, they're probably going to get streamed like that.
How shitty is it?
I don't know if it's going to not happen anymore when the theaters are back.
How shitty is it to be Scarlett Johansson and you've waited 10 years while all of your male co-stars have gotten their movie, and they even brought in a whole nother chick out of the blue to get her own fucking movie
Yeah.
right off the bat.
And introduce like 3 male characters.
Yeah. And then your movie's going to go straight to streaming services? While probably the next movie is going to come out in theaters?
And make $2 billion.
Right.
You know? You're not going to be able to point to your box office sales when you're trying to renegotiate your shit.
Yeah.
Like, they just re-signed Brie Larson.
It sounded like they gave her like everything she wanted.
Basically, it depends on
good for her.
It depends on who you read, but
all you fucking Disney shills like, oh no, she wants man money for movie role and stuff.
Shit.
It's like she deserves it.
Didn't we say that?
No, I said I didn't like the character. You said she didn't deserve the money.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck. So I'm the Disney shill you speak of.
Yeah.
Who accused her of asking for man money, and now she gets man money.
I believe she deserves all the fucking man money after y'all said that it was such a good movie, even though it was shitty.
I thought she was good in it. I enjoyed the film. So you hated her acting. You shit on her craft. And I only shitted on her ability to make money for the company.
I wasn't shitting on her acting as much as I was shitting on the script. Yeah. But she has a very hard time smiling. It's very weird.
I thought she smiled okay.
Yeah.
She had more in that than she did in most of her roles.
It's kind of like the Kristen Stewart thing where her like face doesn't always match up with like
Kristen Stewart. She's so bad.
I don't know.
She's so bad that they made a franchise for her after goddamn Twilight and then omitted her from the sequel.
Oh, what, the Huntsman something?
Snow White and the Huntsman or whatever. And then the next one, they were like, no, Kristen Stewart, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because some shit happened behind the scenes.
Because she always fucks the director.
Does she?
Allegedly.
I don't know about that.
Libel.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you know, Mulan is going to be the first Disney movie, like big blockbuster Disney movie, to not go to theaters.
I hate the fact that this is going to set like a precedence, though.
Yeah.
Like you said, they wouldn't have done this for one movie.
Right. They had to build a whole infrastructure to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. I don't see this changing by November, like 3 months from now.
Do you think that people are moving away from the movie theater? Like,
not voluntarily. Movies were making more money than ever. Well, big movies. Indie movies were getting fucked, but like big movies were making more money than ever in the last like 4 years.
Yeah.
The theater experience is not dead.
Because like I don't see this model working as well as a theater. I don't see there being a $2 million opening night for a streaming service movie.
I mean, we'll find out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, possibly.
Or 4 weeks or whatever.
I'm saying I don't see it happening.
I don't either.
Yeah. That could be our next slap bet.
I think there's going to be a big price. We agree.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a big price adjustment after Mulan, honestly. I think if you got it down to that like $14 range, they're going to have a hard time making their money back.
I'd pay $14. I would. It's expensive, but because like people that live out in California are used to paying closer to $20 for a movie ticket.
Yeah.
Around here it's about $10, right?
More or less, yeah.
I would pay about $15 right now to see something.
I think before I had the AMC stub pass thing, the last tickets I bought were probably $12.99.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And you have a service fee if you buy them online in advance, so you don't have to wait in line.
But then there's also like the digital upgrade cost and shit. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been creeping for a while.
Yeah.
I enjoy the theatrical experience.
I do too.
I enjoy the popcorn and the stuff.
I miss it, man.
It's nice. It's pretty bad. So we're talking also like, so Disney also owns all this shit left over from Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney may be ruining the theater, but they also might be just not making more movies.
Yeah, it kind of got me.
Fox franchises.
Kind of got me thinking after that whole like bitch Rob Liefeld, rant where he was talking about how they bought Fox and like squandered all their properties.
Yeah.
Disney bought Fox for a reason.
Right. They wanted X-Men.
They wanted all their Marvel properties back from them, but they also wanted the Star Wars original trilogy distribution rights.
Right.
And they wanted a majority stakehold in Hulu. and it kind of feels like everything else was just the Cracker Jack, prize
Yeah.
at the bottom of the box.
Right. The whippet at the bottom of the shaving cream bottle, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree completely because they don't give a shit about stuff like Die Hard and fucking X-Files. There's a lot of stuff they got from Fox.
Yeah, there's some stuff that kind of makes sense, like Disney-wise. Like they got like The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
I could definitely see them making a remake of The Sound of Music or something.
Yeah, putting the original on Disney Plus and it gets a little pop and then making a remake of it.
Yeah. But then they got like all the Searchlight stuff and
Yeah.
like Slumdog Millionaire and like 12 Years a Slave and stuff. Like I could see them, they definitely would want stuff like that on like a streaming service or something.
Yeah, they could put it on Hulu.
But Disney is so concentrated on making the big budget film.
Mhm.
Are they going to be doing like the smaller indie films over here? Are they going to be using the franchises over here? Like, Die Hard, Predator,
Yeah.
shit like that.
So it's strange because them as a company, they don't do that.
No,
They don't do indie films.
they don't like R-rated films.
They do family films.
Right.
They try the big demographic in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
They want to hit that PG-13 big shot right up Main Street.
Right.
And Die Hard doesn't work when it's not ultra violent and cool. Live Free or Die Hard is a shitty movie.
Yeah, it was PG-13.
Fucking shitty movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in that context. It lost all of its edge. X-Files. Like, I know it was a TV series, but like, do you really want to watch like a PG-13 X-Files as a movie?
I gotta be honest, I never watched the X-Files movie.
Really?
I love the TV show.
But could you even see Disney doing the TV show?
Not really.
Like,
I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
Disney doesn't do these things.
Mm-mm.
There's so much stuff. There's a couple, like, I could see them. Like, even though it was a shit show when they tried to redo it a couple years ago, like, I could see them touching Independence Day again. Maybe. I mean, Kingsman is coming out still. It was started as a Fox movie.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, it's delayed. They're not going to end up putting it on Disney Plus. They don't really, they'd have to build a whole nother infrastructure for Hulu to do it on Hulu. So if that doesn't go to theaters, like, I don't know where they're going to put it.
Right.
We've already seen how New Mutants, like, because of cable distribution, they can't put that out.
Fuck,
That
yeah.
has to come out in theaters.
Yeah.
It's almost like all the Fox stuff was an inconvenience for Disney.
Do you think Rob Liefeld was right?
I kind of like, okay, I don't like Rob Liefeld. I don't like his goddamn pockets.
Yeah.
And fuck him. But
his bitch made attitude about Deadpool.
Yeah, about getting kicked out of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't the guy that made that Deadpool. Like, fuck you, Rob Liefeld. But yeah, I kind of think he's right.
Damn.
To answer honestly, I kind of think he's right.
Yeah.
There has been some stuff that I do have hope for, though, right? So in getting Fox, they also got a lot of the Fox rights that Fox had licensed over to Dark Horse.
Oh, okay.
For comics.
Yeah.
And Dark Horse was a cool place for people to do comics. Like, they did Conan and
they did the
freaking
Dark Tower series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of cool stuff over on Dark Horse
Oh, yeah, for sure.
that Marvel owns now.
Yeah.
So they just got back Alien vs. Predator, which is one of my favorites.
And the individual properties.
Yeah,
Alien
and Predator,
Yeah.
were both Fox properties. And now Disney has those.
So
And they're rebooting the comic on Marvel.
I wanted to ask you about this because I couldn't find it in any of the articles I read.
Mm-hmm.
Fox obviously owns Alien and Predator,
Correct.
right? Was it kind of like the Fantastic Four deal where it was like they had to keep using it and at a certain point they lost it? Or was it like they just didn't renew their deal with Dark Horse?
The latter.
Okay.
So Fox had an ongoing deal with Dark Horse, and Dark Horse is a different kind of company than Marvel. So they don't, when an artist does an original property on Dark Horse,
Mm-hmm.
the artist still owns like the property.
Okay.
They own the merchandising and stuff like that, and Dark Horse more publishes it, you know? So when they got it back, when they acquired Fox, they also acquired Alien, Predator.
Okay.
And I think a couple other things, because I think Disney technically owns Conan now.
The fuck? We'll never get another Conan movie.
Probably not.
No.
You know, I rewatched that Jason Momoa one, and it's really not that bad.
Huh.
But, yeah. Well, no, we're going to get a new Conan. It's already been in production for like ever. Unless COVID kills Arnold Schwarzenegger.
A
Knock on
movie?
wood. Yeah. We're supposed to get one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in a couple years.
Really?
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was
know.
it was in like pre-production before all this stuff.
God,
We talked about it on the podcast.
it's been so long ago.
Damn. But yeah, so Alien vs. Predator is getting rebooted on Marvel as a comic. So I was thinking, and let me pitch this to you.
Okay.
What if they did an Alien TV series on Hulu?
Fucking down.
Okay, so think about it, right?
Yeah.
Hulu's already done some violent shit,
Uh-huh.
and they've already done some supernatural shit.
True.
They did the what was the Stephen King shit?
Oh,
Castle Rock.
yeah, Castle Rock.
So they did Castle Rock. That was pretty like horror
Pretty
driven,
violent, yeah.
kind of violent. Yeah, they did Redemption or whatever that show was. It wasn't called Redemption. I don't remember what that shit was. The weird shit about the car club or whatever.
Oh, Reprisal?
Reprisal.
Yeah.
Like Hulu has done some edgy shit, right?
Mhm.
Alien, when you do it the way the old Dark Horse comics did it in like the 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
is a badass story. It's way better than the subsequent films. Like all the films after Aliens, like the second film,
Mhm.
they kind of go downhill.
Yeah, they really
Like
do.
Alien 3 kind of sucks. Like they killed Newton Hicks, like for no goddamn reason.
They like resurrect Ripley.
Yeah, they resurrect Ripley in Alien Resurrection, and that movie just sucks.
It really does.
Like it's just not a good movie.
And it doesn't seem like they've ever gotten like really understood what they were supposed to do with Prometheus, I guess.
Yeah, Prometheus, I don't understand, and I think it's its own book and it's totally different. But in the original Dark Horse comics, right?
Yeah.
The next series of things, like pretty much the first thing that they put out after Aliens, is like the story of Newt and Hicks, and they're like badass. And then they killed them on the movies, so they're like, we'll just change their names and keep telling their story.
Huh.
So all of those comics are like little anthology things that connect to each other, but the stories are separate. And you could do that shit as seasons, and it would be amazing. And you could do an Alien season, and then you could do a Predator season, and then you could do an Alien season and a Predator season, and build this like suspense like we had leading into Alien versus Predator before it was bullshit.
Yeah. Of
Like-
them finally like
Yeah,
fighting.
of them finally interacting. You could make this thing that sells fucking Hulu. But Hulu has never had that goddamn selling point, you know? The closest thing ever was probably Castle Rock, the first season.
Yeah, that's true. They never had like a
Like a Game of Thrones,
yeah, or
like
even like a Stranger Things, I guess.
Yeah.
If
if that's your flavor.
anything beyond this first season was your thing, yeah.
Yeah, but like Netflix has had a couple of those. You
Yeah,
know, they've had a
right.
couple series that were Netflix homegrown originals.
Like
And-
House of Cards was like a selling point
Oh,
for
yeah.
the whole streaming service when it came out. Yeah.
For like 4 years, people
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, I have to keep Netflix for my goddamn House of Cards."
Yeah.
Even Disney Plus launched with not launched with the Mandalorian, but
Close
within
enough,
a
yeah.
month, you know. Mandalorian broke all kinds of streaming records. Clone Wars, the final season.
Yeah. And to add to your point too, Mandalorian has proven at this point that like the franchise shit does not have to be about the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
Like maybe over here with Alien and Predator, maybe it doesn't have to be about Ripley, you know?
Right.
Maybe you can have a show about Newt or
You should. You
Yeah.
should have a show about Newt. You should retcon that third movie out,
uh-huh.
because that was what they were supposed to do with the reboot anyway. that I don't know if that's still happening or whatever, but
Now, where do you put Predator?
you bring Predator in as your second show. Like
Yeah.
your Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, you think?
You know?
What if it
Or
was like the
your-
Batman the animated
Your
series
Luke
thing back in the
Cage.
day,
Yeah.
where it was like Superman and Batman kind of like alternated episodes?
Yeah, but that was after like 4 seasons of Batman
Yeah,
where they had built Batman up to this big thing, which is what you could do. You could do 2 seasons of Aliens, right?
yeah.
You do Aliens, and then the next time you do Predator. And then they're like, "Oh man, I can't wait for Aliens to come back."
Yeah. I think the amazing, like, I don't know as much about how you would do Alien. To preface this, I've never read any of the comics.
But you
for the
should.
most- I kind of want to now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame too, because I like both properties a lot. But the thing about a Predator TV show, it makes so much sense because you could recycle pretty much anything that happened in that first movie, set it in a jungle.
Right?
Like the first 2 episodes don't even show the fucking Predator, you know? It could be
Yeah.
amazing.
You could essentially reboot the first Predator movie
Yeah.
for the first season of Predator.
Yeah.
And people would love it. It would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Just big, like, fucking muscle bound dudes going into like a jungle and like shooting up drug dealers and shit.
Yeah. And then getting their ass hunted by a predator.
Yeah.
That would be a great season.
It would be so cool.
And you would actually have time to build the drama between the characters and what's going on
Mm-hmm.
and make it actually scary. You could do that. You could have that like tense shit in the middle of a Predator TV series that you can't get in an hour and a half, 2-hour movie.
I don't know.
Just gives you that long format to build that dread.
I definitely do like the long format stuff, but I do still feel like there's an art to the movie,
Yeah.
you know? And like, I don't know if you can beat that first film.
It's one of the few things I think I would stretch out. Mostly I'm like the guy that's, we need to make it shorter. We need to make it more concise.
I don't,
We need to
don't get me
respect
wrong,
my
man.
time.
Like, if you said that they were remaking the first film, you know, it's going to be like 8 episodes or
Mhm.
something, whatever, I give it a shot,
Yeah.
right? But I really don't know if you can beat it. I would be betting against it.
It's probably at least a top 15 movie for me, if not a top 10.
Yeah.
And I would love to see it updated and kind of lengthened.
Yeah, why not?
Because you could tell a lot of story there. It would be fun.
I just really hope they don't, like, when they eventually get around to doing something with this property, I hope they don't go the Rodriguez role. I hated that movie so much. Even the fucking remake that came out recently,
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of like the longer you sit on it, it's like the worse it gets, you know?
I liked the campiness of it, and I enjoyed watching it.
It was pretty fucking bad, though, like, in retrospect. Like, I remember just being like, oh, it's a dumb action movie
Yeah.
and stuff. But, like, when you really think about what that franchise deserves, it's like, it's
Yeah.
bad.
It's rough because the franchise has been misused
Yeah.
and like abused and just done shittily. There's 2 good Predator movies. There's Predator 1 and Predator 2. And none of the other ones are good. Alien vs. Predator is not good. Predators is not good.
Yeah, not
AVP
really.
is not good. And The Predator is not good. Like, you have goddamn like 4 or 5 movies that are just not good.
I feel like I can sit down and watch any of them and just be stoked to see the visuals. It's like anytime you see, like, I can't remember what they're called, but a Predator
Yeah.
on screen, they look crazy cool,
Right.
you know?
Same with the Alien. The Alien looks badass all the time. And at least you have 3 good Alien movies, even if the third one fucks up the franchise.
Yeah.
Like, completely fucks up the franchise because of the direction they went after.
But like those first 2 films, it's like they're like monuments in cinema,
Mhm.
like in their own right. Like,
Those first 2 films are like any time for me. I'll sit down and watch Alien or
Yeah.
Aliens. No problem.
arguably, I think the first one's better,
Yeah.
but like the second one is so like different and awesome too.
Right. I love how the first Alien movie is this horror, like, kind of like slow buildy thing, you know, very similar to The Thing.
Yeah.
And then the second one is like a battle against this alien who's almost elevated to like a supernatural status.
Right.
Instead of being like not understood, it's like, no, it's just fucking brutal.
Yeah.
They will fuck you up. And there's a lot of them on this planet.
Right. And it's their job to get rid of it. Like, nobody's coming to help them, you
Yeah.
know? Like, and if anybody does come, they're going to try and steal the shit because it's like some ancient shit that they want to like replicate or something, you know?
Use
Like,
it for fucking war.
yeah.
Whatever leftover Blade Runner shit that we're trying to figure out how it ties in.
Yeah. Because we want to make the company evil. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I really, really hope that Disney doing this with Marvel in the comics leads to like a newfound interest in the franchise and a badass TV series / universe. In my opinion, best done on Hulu and not big budget movies.
Yeah.
Because I think Disney, honestly, like with all these franchises, right? Some of the ones they don't really care about that much. They need to start some kind of studio or some kind of process to use those IPs because people love that shit.
Yeah. And that's the part that's kind of bothering me about the whole Fox Disney thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially the more I think about it, man, it's
As
like,
stoked as we were for them to get X-Men back.
right. Now it's like every other thing that we love outside of Marvel Comics has to almost like audition to like get something.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that Alien and Predator have to do well in Marvel Comics before they'll be like, you know what? I'll throw some money at it.
I feel like to get where I want it to be, maybe it does. I don't want them to do summer blockbuster movies with that shit.
You don't?
No, I want them to do a badass Hulu connected series.
Yeah, but I mean, if they were gonna like, if they did a movie, you're telling me you wouldn't be stoked about that?
I would be stoked about it, but and they are kind of supposed to still do a movie, I think. Because weren't they gonna redo it and then ignore Alien 3? I think that was a thing, but I think it may have been a thing long ago.
I don't remember that one. I know like Halloween is doing that right now and shit, and like Terminator did it, and
Yeah.
I don't remember if Alien.
It really didn't work for Terminator.
No.
It wasn't the worst movie in the Terminator franchise.
There were definitely really cool aspects to it, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, it was like the lowest grossing Terminator movie.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
I actually like it better than the past few, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I like it way better than goddamn Genesis and Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Both those movies were ass.
Yeah.
They were some terrible shit. And for the cast they had in those movies,
mm-hmm.
How
it should have been amazing.
How do you make shit with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale?
Russell Crowe was
in
it?
Salvation? Wasn't it Russell Crowe and Christian Bale? Or was it Christian Bale? I think it was.
No, I think it's the guy from Attack on...
Clive Owen.
No.
No?
I think it's the guy from Clash of the Titans.
Damn, you're right. I can't remember his name, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was huge at the time.
Yeah. He's kind of like generic action white guy. I mean, we could agree on that, right?
But how do you put Christian Bale in something in between The Machinist and Batman and he's shit?
Well, I think he even knew. Because that was the same movie where he was like, you know, like yelling at the casting crew.
Yeah.
You fucking happy with yourself?
This movie fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I can't say that because I need to make money, so I'm just going to yell at you.
Yeah.
You pieces of shit.
He was like, I was just a goddamn Batman.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Damn.
How do you make a bad movie with good actors in it? Like, ugh. I mean, I guess those exist. That might be a fun conversation one day.
Yeah. Well, you know, just kind of like closing this out and stuff. Like, we brought up the fact that Marvel was getting Alien and Predator back.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get a crossover between like Marvel characters and Predator?
The way they do comics, fucking probably. The Punisher is gonna hunt him or some shit. Like,
I mean, obviously, because
for
like
no goddamn reason.
they even said in the articles like it's not in continuity with everything else, but you know, possibly maybe at some point like Wolverine takes on like
it's fucking Marvel,
Predator.
so they will.
Yeah.
Like, that's a shining example of why I don't read comics anymore.
Yeah.
As soon as they got it, it will happen. Like, they're gonna have Star Wars and fucking all of it mushed together at some point in some goddamn multiverse bullshit.
You think we'll ever see Luke Skywalker fight a xenomorph?
No, but I think he'll use the lightsaber to reflect Cyclops' optic blast at some point.
Oh, like as like a little Easter egg or
Yeah.
something. Like they'll be like looking through like the different artifacts and find a lightsaber.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably. It's fuck comics.
Yeah.
I think
Well, that's a fucking episode.
I think
right?
that's an episode. If you also hate comics for no goddamn reason other than you're too ignorant to read image shit, you can interact with us and check us out on social media at the Firebear Republic.
And Firebear Podcast on Twitter.
And have a good week, and we'll talk at you next week.
See ya.
Later.